Hey everyone, welcome back to Code with Ro. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and support the channel by checking out the Patreon in the link below. Today we're diving into CSS 2D transforms. I'll guide you through the basics, some effects you can create, and practical examples to level up your design skills. We'll separate our HTML and CSS files for clarity, so let's get started. Transforms manipulate HTML elements by visually moving, rotating, scaling, or skewing. With 2D transforms, we work along the X and Y axis. So I'll create a pretty large HTML file called index.html. And in this, I'll include a header one that says CSS 2D transforms, a translate example that says translated box with a div class of translate example, and one for rotate example, one for scale example, one for skew example, one for combined example, a button hover effect, and an image gallery rotation, which has three of the same images in this case, which are my profile picture, in a div class called gallery. And don't forget to link your style.css at the top here in your header tags. And now in my style.css, I'll just add some general page styling for good practice. So you can see that I added a font family, margin of 20 to space it out from here, and a background color of this, F4, F4, F4. And I'll make sure my headers are aligned to the center by selecting both of my headers by header 1 and header 2 and do a text align center. So now let's start with the translate example. I'll go ahead and just copy paste this class. And because it's a class, we have to put a period in front of it and then some curly brackets. Now, in my translate example, I'm going to add a background color just so it's a bit more noticeable of something like this color. So now it will highlight my translated box. And now I added a margin bottom, space it out a bit, made the color of the text white. And I'm going to add a transform, which translates 50 pixels, comma, 20 pixels. So the translate moves an element from the original position. And now I'll grab the rotate example and I'll do dot rotate example and I'll transform and I'll type in rotate and I'll do something like 45 degrees by typing in 45 DEG. So now you'll see that it actually appeared way up here. So if I zoom out, oh, so if I zoom in, you see it says rotated box over here. Now I'll add a scale example. So I'll do a scale of 1.5 and 0.5. When I hit save, you're going to see that it scales over here. And it looks very odd because the scaling is just very odd. So it scales the element to 1.5 times its original width and half its height. And now for the skew example, I'll do a transform with a skew of 30 degrees and 10 degrees. So this skews the element 30 degrees horizontally and 10 degrees vertically. So now it looks kind of 3D-ish and diagonal. And now here's how to combine multiple transforms. So I'll bring in my dot combined example, and I'll do transform, and then I'll just do something like a translate of 20 pixels and 30 pixels. And then I'll add a space at the end and do a rotate 30 degrees, and then a space, and then a scale of 1.2. Now when I hit save, you're going to see it kind of combined all the effects. Now let's create practical examples to show how 2D transforms can be used in real world scenarios. So for my button, I'll do something like a background color of this green. I'll change the text color to white. My padding will be 15 pixels and 32 pixels. I'll text align to the center and I'll do a transition transform 0.3 seconds. But currently when I hover over, nothing actually happens. And that's because I need a button hover element. So the dot button colon hover, and I'll open my braces and I'll do transform, and I'll use a scale for this one to 1.1. Now when I hover over it, you'll see it grow a little bigger. Kind of like it's telling the user to click here or hover here. And now for the image gallery rotation, let's do dot gallery image because that's the only items we have in our gallery. I'll do a width of 100%. transition, transform, of 0.4 seconds. And I'll do a dot gallery image hover. So when we hover over the image, let's make it transform by rotating it 100 degrees. So now when I hover over this, oh yeah, don't forget to add the semicolon. Now when I hover over this, it'll actually change it to 10 degrees. And now when I hover over this, you'll see it tilt a little. Next one, and the next one. And there you have it, a quick guide to CSS 2D transforms. These transformations can bring your web designs to life. So get creative and experiment with them in your projects. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what other topics you'd like to see next. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching.